Yes, class. Am I audible? Nabila, Neha, Hafsa. Okay. In the last class, we started with this gravitation chapter, and I told you there are three major topics: forces you have to cover, energy you have to cover, and potential you have to cover. Now, when we talk about the Newton's law of gravitation that we already covered, basically the Newton's law of gravitation, this said that the force between the two masses, they are directly proportional to the product of the two masses and inversely proportional to the square of the radius between them. So F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square was the formula, where capital G, which is the universal gravitational constant, had the value 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Okay. And we also just practice the question. Gravity was also covered, which is the gravitational pull of the earth. And we calculated the acceleration due to gravity's formula, that is capital G, mass of the earth, divided by the radius of the earth square. And when you put all the values, the exact precise value that you will get will be 9.8 meter per second square. Okay. Then we discussed about superposition principle, that different masses are present, and when different masses are present means multiple masses are present, how will you calculate the resultant force? So individually you will be calculating all the forces, and when all the forces are accommodated, then you take out the net force using your vector laws. Okay, this was one question which we saw also in the last class. And okay, let's see one more question. Then we'll move on to the variations of acceleration due to gravity. In the last class, I didn't give you any homework. Okay, but before that, from rotation, I think one or two assignments are still left to be discussed in the class. We did only center of mass one, that one. So tomorrow I'll discuss the assignments. Okay, please just share whoever has pending assignments left. Now, this says that gravitational forces between 2 point masses, small m and capital M, are separated by a distance r is f. Okay, this is given as f. So, let's say this is small m, this is capital M. Okay, separation between them is r. Okay, one more thing. Usually the separations that are taken, no, they are taken from the center of the bodies. That is small r. And the force here is given as F between them. This says if a point mass 3m is placed next to small m, what will be the force on m due to m and total force on m? See, how will we calculate this? First, when it says the force, if you apply the Newton's law here, see, these are the data that are given to us, okay? Small m, capital M, and R. So by using the simple Newton's law of gravitation, what will be the force? Tell me. You tell me. Look at the figure for this one before putting 3m. In this scenario, what do you think is the force?
G
R square. Okay, yes. Capital G, small m, capital M by R square. Okay, this is the force. Now let's put 3m mass. If we put a mass 3m, which is put next to small m, what will be the force on capital M due to M? Okay, so here we are not aware about the distance. Distance also has not been mentioned, so we'll have to assume some distance. Okay, it said that gravitational forces between 2 point masses M and capital M are separated by distance F. The distance R is F. If a point mass 3m is placed next to small m, what will be the force on capital M due to small m now? Okay, what will be the force on capital M? We are calculating the capital M is basically value. So this will be, see, this separation is not given. The separation should have been given. Now see, since the separation is not given, we'll assume something. And in this case also two possibilities are there. 3m can be placed beside small m also. Next to small m it has just mentioned. right? It didn't tell us anything. It is just saying it is placed next to small m. So here, if it is placed next to small m, or it can be placed next to this m also. So here this separation is missing, because separation could have told us where is it placed. It has not been mentioned anything. Two possibilities are there, so you will also in the exams try to write two possibilities only, and if you don't have time, then put the masses in between. Okay, if time is not present. So this, I'll just check this also if the question is incomplete, because separation should have been given. If it isn't given, we'll assume something. Let's say that this separation is x. So this separation becomes r minus x. So when you calculate the force on this, like this, you have to calculate. Okay, force on capital M due to small m when we write. So now what will be the force? Force on capital M due to small m is this. This is your first part. But total force on capital M when we calculate, it will be force due to this also and a force due to this also. Okay. When we are talking about the 3m place, now the force that will be acting, I'll solve it in this manner, but I'll just cross check if any other information about radius is mentioned, and if the question is incomplete, I'll modify it. But how to solve it, the method remains the same. See, now when we have this, there are two forces. Force due to small m, that is g small m capital M by r square, and force due to capital M. Force due to 3m. This is force due to 3m. So due to 3m, this will be g small m into 3 capital G into 3 into small m into capital M divided by r minus x whole square. Now these are the two forces that are possible. Resultant force will be, you add them vectorically, right? Both of the forces will act in the same direction. So because this is not placed near capital M, it is placed near small m. So you will just add it directly. That's what I'm saying. X is coming in the answer. This has to be solved. Or do one thing, leave this question. Let me discuss the variations derivation first. At the end, I'll discuss this. Let me just cross check. Because otherwise here in this, what you have to do when you know X's value, you'll just have to add them vectorically. That's it. Okay, is the method clear? What the question was asking and what you have to apply? Okay. The exact answer I'll tell you exactly. Let me just check the question, because there is no information about small r given. Variation of acceleration due to gravity. See, acceleration due to gravity is that value, no, which we calculate 9.8 meter per second square. That value is actually just for the surface of the earth. Okay. Now, when you have to take some body to some altitude or towards the depth of the earth, so there is a change. Because see, if you're taking it to some height doesn't mean here from the floor towards the ceiling. Height means a proper height where the gravity can be escaped. Okay, there are many topics that will cover these kinds of portions. So it means you have taken it to such an altitude that is clearly visible. Let's say I have taken a body here, and this height is small h. Okay, and this is the altitude to which the body is taken. Remember, the value 9.8 meter per second square is just for the surface of the earth. When you reach or when you cross the surface of the earth and you have taken the body up to a certain altitude or to the depth, altitude and depth, these are very two important variations which you should know. So let's assume that this is small r. Okay, the total separation, no, between height and center, because everything that you measure with will be with respect to the center of the earth. Okay, from the center you calculate the radius, from the center you calculate the height. So we are just taking this as small r, h plus capital R. I'll just put it also. Now what was small g? Equal to, small g was, or in fact small g we've already discussed also, that is g m by r square. Now one thing, I'll not be writing MERE the whole time. Capital M means the mass of earth, capital R means the radius of the earth, because here we are referring to earth only. If any other planet is mentioned, then put it in the subscript, like let's say Pluto is mentioned, so RP MP, like this. Okay, M means the mass of earth and R means the radius of the earth. Now here there's a variation. Mass of the earth will not change, fine. But capital R is not just there. from the center of the earth, this is small r this time. So we'll put capital G, capital M by small r whole square. Okay. And what is our small r actually? This is G capital M by r plus h whole square. This is the difference that will come. Okay. And that's why the value is also not 9.8 meter per second square. The value will also differ. Because if this was to be 9.8, the radius of the earth had to be taken as it is 6400 kilometer and no question then. So gm by r plus h whole square, because now the radius is having an additional height, that is an altitude. These altitudes are quite an altitude. Okay, don't just take it as if you're throwing a ball and that is coming. We have done motion under gravity. We know for all those things you have g valid, that is considered under the surface of the earth. Okay, over the surface of the earth, not under. Now g prime means the value of acceleration due to gravity at this point, at this height edge. Okay, so what we will do, if I take r square out from the denominator, if I take a capital R square out, so what will be there? From here 1 will be left and I'll have to divide it by r. Now see, when I multiply this r square, I'll get this term back. Whenever you take anything common, I think this I discussed in the last class also, that whenever you're taking something out common and it is not present there, you'll have to divide it. So that when the bracket is actually open, you're getting the same quantity back. So you take a capital R square common. From here, 1 will be left, but from here, R will be left. Okay. So in the denominator, you have to divide. See, when you multiply this inside and this inside, you're getting R plus H whole square back as it is. Okay. Now look, this G, M, and why did we do this step? Intentionally, we have done this so that we can obtain this G, M by capital R square, which is nothing but acceleration due to gravity at the surface. Okay. This is acceleration due to gravity at the surface. I'll just mention also, this is the acceleration due to gravity at the surface of the earth. Okay, while this is v due to or v at the altitude. G's value at the altitude means height. Okay, so that's why we are establishing a relationship between both of these. So what is g dash equal to g by 1 plus h by r to the power whole square. Now we even have a better way to write this. If I shift this denominator up, it's like v by something to the power 2. If I shift this something up, I'll get the power negative minus 2. So I can write this as g dash is equal to g 1 plus h by r to the power minus 2. Now there's a concept of binomial expression. Those students who have mathematics, they must be knowing it. But students, those who do not have maths, they have bio. Just remember this expression because this is used only in this chapter, gravitation. And in your class 11th only. 12th may be used nahi hoga. So binomial expression is basically if something is 1 plus x to the power n, provided the value of x is greater than 1. Okay, the condition is that the value of x should be very much greater than 1. So here, when the height is obviously very much greater than the radius of the earth. Okay, if that's the case, if the height is very much greater than the radius of the earth, means it is applicable. 1 plus x to the power n can be written as 1 plus nx. Okay, this can be written as 1 plus nx. That's the whole rule. So just remember it as it is. 1 plus x to the power n is equal to 1 plus nx. This is like a formula. The way you have studied in differentiation, x to the power n becomes nx to the power n minus 1. Integration you have studied. So remember this also, that 1 plus x to the power n will be 1 plus nx. Now what is what? See, this is 1, this is your x. if I tell you this is the 1, this is plus, this is your x, and this is the power n. So what will I do? I'll just substitute it here. See, g dash will be g1 plus n, then your x. So this is actually the formula of the variation of acceleration due to gravity with altitude, and it is easy to remember and a better formula. H is the height. I'll put this also. H is the height of the body, but capital R still remains radius of the earth. That's why I said mass and radius, these two things you remember. So is this clear? Variation of g with respect to the height?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I will quickly repeat it. One. See, when you take anything above the surface of Earth or below the surface of Earth, the value of acceleration due to gravity changes because that value is derived only at the surface of the Earth.
Ma'am,
Huh.
we are already on the surface of the earth, right?
Yes.
We are, right? So if we throw something up like ball, so that will be height, right?
No.
H.
That's what I was saying. Surface of the Earth is very huge, very, very huge. So when we throw a ball or anything, that is so less in front of the Earth. No, that is considered under the over the surface of Earth. That's what was the point which I was telling you. Like when we throw the ball and all, if that height has to be quite a greater height with respect to the mass of the earth. Mass of earth is very huge. Like you and I are very, 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 very tiny, and in fact we are negligible in front of the mass of the earth. So when we throw a ball or something like that, that doesn't affect the value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 over the surface. When we say that surface is up to a certain height, which is normal for us, at least humans. But yes, of course, when the rocket takes off from the surface of earth and all, that are definitely considered as h. Okay, but not these values. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here we took the value as r plus h. We took r square common so that we could take out the value of acceleration due to gravity on the surface. And then we applied the binomial expression 1 plus nx. Okay. 1 plus x to the power n becomes 1 plus nx. And the formula is g dash is equal to g1 minus 2h by r. Okay. We'll practice this question. First, you write down this. Okay, see, this says that calculate the height at which the value of g decreases to half of its value at the surface of the earth. Means the value, we have to calculate such a height where the value of g will be half of the value at the surface of earth, means approximately 4.9, but you don't have to calculate in terms of the values. Basically, this wants to say that g prime will be g by 2. Means g prime means at the altitude 1 and g is the acceleration due to gravity at the surface, so half of it. Okay, and what's the formula? G dash is equal to g1 minus 2h by r. Now, g dash is g by 2 is equal to g1 minus 2h by r. Now, see, g will be cancelled from here. We can say 2h by r is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2, right? Which is equal to half. So height will be 2h by r is equal to 1 by 2. From here we can write down the value of the height. It will be radius by 4. And fourth of the radius? Is it fine? Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Neha? Okay, then let's see the derivation of the depth also. Oh, that question was also left. No, I forgot to check it. I'll check it. You write this first.
Ma'am, depth of the earth or what?
Earth,
Depth
depth of
of earth. Inside, right?
yes, yes, inside towards the center.
Okay. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. See, let's start with this variation with the depth. Now, variation with the depth means that the body is being taken to some depth of the earth. Let's say till here. Okay, this is the depth of the earth to here. Thus, radius of the earth is fixed. There is the radius of the earth is there. That is the radius of the earth. To some depth, it is taken here. This is the depth that is taken. So right now, the a small r that we will be considering will be, see, this is the depth. This total is the radius. So what do we have to consider? Small r will become capital R minus d this time. Right? That was R plus additional H. This is R with
Ma'am, why
subtraction
this
of
small
the depth.
part? Like, why the little part depth? We can't go center,
We can't,
find the depth. Why we can't go to the center of the earth, like to
yeah,
find
we
the
can
depth of
go.
center?
See,
But
center,
why this little
center
part?
one will be the most easiest, no? Center one, there your capital R will be equal to the depth. So that is the center of the earth. Okay. Are you
Okay.
getting it? You can put it. We have to take a case, no, for any value that can be possible for us.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's why we always try to have a general value so that you can put in the value. You can just put RST in that case, small r will be zero. And see, in the when you put the value, you will realize that at the center of the earth, it will be zero itself because your capital R is equal to D is equal to capital R. But let me discuss this first. Small r is equal to capital R minus D. Now, here we are calculating the value of G dash. Now, this time it won't be G m by simply r square. Means it will be this, the formula will be this, but the mass can't be this. Remember, the mass will always be the underneath the mass. In gravitation, this is a rule. Okay. Because we are doing the derivation, so we have to follow the rule. Means this part which you are able to see, this whole part, this part. This is the mass that we have to take, let's say m dash. This whole mass will be considered. So that's why here also I'll take some mass that is m dash, which will have this radius r minus d. Okay, that will have this radius r minus d. So g prime will be g m dash by r square. So now m dash's value we'll have to first calculate what is the amount of mass. Total mass is capital M, we know. But just for this r minus d, what's the mass? So again, the same method that we have been applying since we'll be using it, that the mass of 4 by 3 pi r cube volume of earth is capital M. So what will be the mass per unit volume? It will be m by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay. So for if we have for 1 meter cube, it's like 1 meter cube, you know the mass. So mass of 4 by 3 pi r minus d whole cube. R minus d, the leftover part whose mass we are trying to calculate. Wherever your depth is, no, the point below which the entire surface acts as your mass. The portion that is covered under the depth or near the depth, that is not taken in the mass. 4 by 3 pi r cube volume of earth will be, this will be m by 4 by 3 pi r cube into 4 by 3 pi r minus d whole cube. So 4 by 3 gets cancelled. This is equal to m into r minus d whole cube divided by r cube. Okay. It means we have the value of m dash. This is actually nothing but m dash. So we can say g dash is equal to capital G into capital M dash this time. So we can say d dash is equal to capital G. Now m dash can be written as m r minus d whole cube divided by r cube. Okay. v m dash by r cube. And what was your small r? Already we are considering a small r. So let's put the value of the small r. Capital G, capital M, r minus d whole cube divided by r minus d. Small r was equal to capital R minus d into r cube. See, this will cancel this, means one of the brackets will be cancelled. So we can write g dash as g capital M by r square and the rest of the term together. R minus d. This is r square I have taken here. This is r square. Here only r minus d should be left. Because this is a cube, so 2 getting cancelled, so 1 is left. So r minus d divided by r is left. I have just written r cube. From here, this r cube could be written as r square multiplied to r. Okay. So why did we do this step? So as to get the value of small g. So g m by r square is actually the acceleration due to gravity at the surface of Earth. So we can say g dash is equal to small g r minus d divided by r. To simplify this also further, see, just separate the denominator. Capital R can be separated, r minus d by r. So g dash is equal to g 1 minus d by r. This is the formula where your value of g dash is at v at a depth. V is the surface acceleration due to gravity at the surface. Small d is the depth of the earth to which we have taken the body, and this is the radius of the earth. Clear? These two derivations are there. For the rotation, the third variation, no, you don't have any derivation. Okay, is it clear? G1 minus d by r, and that is G1 minus 2h by r. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, please write it.
Ma'am,
Yes, Say.
ma'am, I got my physics paper.
Okay. Tell me.
Ma'am, I got out of 70, it's 52 and half.
52.5.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. From 70 or 80?
From 70, ma'am.
Okay. So, have
And
you seen your
practically I
paper?
got
Huh.
from 30, out of 30, it is 29.
Okay. That is very good. So, how was that half yearly one?
This is half yearly, right?
Yes, yes. How was it? Means how was the question paper?
Physics?
Physics?
I already told you, right? All the derivations came, right?
Okay, yes. Did you share the paper, Hafsa?
No, ma'am, I was too busy.
Okay. Try to share the paper today, so I'll also have a look, and then we can discuss also.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Just share it
And
today
I
on
got
Twitter.
result
Yeah.
also, like Thursday I got result.
The complete half yearly result is out of all the
Yes, ma'am.
subjects. So how was the result overall?
Ma'am, overall percentage.
Means how did you find the result? Good, average, how was it?
Overall the class I got in position, right?
Okay, fourth position.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, that's good then. It
Yes,
can be
ma'am.
improved further also, that is a good thing. And marks are also good, especially 29 on 30 is completely great. And 52.5, now that I have to see through your paper. If
Okay,
it
ma'am.
could be more or it is fine. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Share the paper, that will give me an analysis, okay?
Okay, ma'am. I'm done.
Okay, see, this says that G prime is given 1% of G, calculate the depth. So, G dash is given as 1% of the value of acceleration due to gravity at the surface. So, first we'll have to calculate its value. Okay, so this is given as 1% of G. So, G dash will be equal to, look, this percentage concept, I hope we have discussed also this in the previous chapter we discussed it. The percentage is a slight concept we have already discussed it though. So G dash will be G plus 1 by 100 into G. Okay, this is 1% of the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth. So G dash is equal to 101 G by 100, which is equal to 1.01 G. This also you can write directly, then you write the formula G dash is equal to G1 minus D by R. G dash, you write it in the numerator, in this form also, you can write it in this manner also. Okay. So this is, okay, this is saying 1%, not percentage increase. See, when if it was percentage increase, then you can add it. It is simply saying this is 1% of Z. Percentage means you can directly put a denominator 100. Okay, when you multiply the fraction with 100, then you get the percentage. So it is just saying 1% of C. So this will be simply G by 100. Okay, if it was 1% increase, then you add that G plus G by 100. And if it is decrease, 1 minus G by 100. It is simply this. So G by 100 is equal to G1 minus G by R. G will be cancelled. So from here we get this will be 1 minus 1 by 100 is equal to D by R. So that is equal to 99 by 100 D by R. So depth is equal to 0.99 the times the radius. Okay. So these kinds of questions come often, not this one, more than this, the previous one which we did. This one. G's value will be given in terms, means G prime's value will be given in terms of the surface's value. Okay, so this you can copy. Before that, see graphical representation at the surface as I was saying. Now you move down and you make the depth equal to the radius of the earth. As Hafsa you were saying, for the center also depth will be equal to the radius of the earth. So that cancels and gives you 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So value at the center of the surface means at the center of the earth is 0. G dash is equal to G 1 minus R by R it will be, since your D is equal to R. Okay, because your D is equal to R, so this will be cancelled. So G dash will be equal to G 1 minus 1. This is 0, so G dash is 0 at the center of the earth. This is about the center of the earth. So from the center, it increases, and reaches a maximum value. This maximum value we all know is at the surface of Earth, which is 9.8 meter per second square. It increases from this at the center of the Earth. Acceleration due to gravity is 0. It is increasing, and up to the depth, it is directly proportional also, and it increases inside. It reaches the surface, value becomes equal to 9.8 meter per second. And then when you go far away from the surface of the earth up to altitudes and far away, the value of acceleration due to gravity keeps on decreasing, because then it becomes inversely proportional to the r. This whole part is outside. Means as you move far away from the surface of the earth, the acceleration due to gravity's values weakens. It will be very less like this. So from the center towards the earth, it's like it is lesser. Okay, this is lesser at the depth of the earth. It increases up to a certain which value, which we already know, which is 9.8, and then it decreases back like this to some height, and this is just at the surface. So this graph is there. Got it? How the acceleration due to gravity actually varies. Decreases, increases, surface, then starts to decreases, and then again becomes 0. when the height and
Ma'am, can
the
you
radius.
explain once again?
This one?
Yes. Ma'am.
See, is it clear that at the center dash will be equal to 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, at the center of the earth, it is 0. Now, what happens? Then, when from the center of the earth, you are moving towards the, I'll show you it like this. See, from the center, you are moving towards the earth like this. So, what will happen? The value will gradually increase. Let's say from 0, 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3 up to certain height, 0 0.45, then 1, 1.1, like this. Slowly, slowly, it will increase until the surface of the earth, it will reach its maximum value, that is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, these two are directly proportional. The depth and the value of g and the radius, they are directly proportional. At the surface, it reaches a value that is 9.8. Surface means the whole surface that we are considering. Then again, you move away. Then it will decrease 9.8, then 9.7, then 9.6, 9.5, like this, it will decrease. And these are very great distances, not what as we can discuss. And finally, it will also become 0. Getting it now?
What about this slide? This decreasing. What is this?
Okay, this graph.
Yes, ma'am.
See, the value of acceleration, this is the center of the earth origin. This is small r equal to capital R, that is the surface. So any part between the radius of the earth and this surface, center and the surface will be inside the earth. What did we discuss? Inside the earth, G is directly proportional to R. Right? G dash is directly proportional to R. So that's why this is a straight line curve. Because both the quantities are directly proportional, it will increase just directly proportional to it. But when you go outside the surface, the acceleration due to gravity is inversely proportional to radius. Radius is more, g is less. More the radius, g is further less. Greater the radius, it is further less, right? So it is inversely proportional. So the graph will be a hyperbolic graph. This part of the graph this is a straight line because these two quantities were proportional to each other. And this is a hyperbola. This is a hyperbolic graph because the two quantities are inversely proportional. This is the surface. Getting it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please write it and then let's discuss the rotation also. Rotation, you don't have any derivation. Is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Done?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sir.
Have all of you written? Shall I move forward? Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ikra? Done?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. There is variation with rotation, but remember the formula for it. When the earth rotates, okay, that rotation of the earth also changes the acceleration due to gravity. Means if the earth rotates, rotation in the sense, see, rotation means the latitudes and longitudes, I hope you must have heard of. In geography, you must have studied also. So with different latitudes, the value, longitudes will not be considering, latitudes morely we are focusing on. This lambda is actually the latitude of the earth. So that with the latitudes, the value of the acceleration due to gravity decreases there also. Like this is the earth, this is the rotation of the earth with certain angular velocity. Though I hope you know the axis of the earth is tilted, it is not like this. It's not straight. The axis of the earth is tilted to some degrees. Now the centripetal force will be acting towards the center, and that is making some angle lambda, which we call as the latitude. Okay, this is the latitude over the edge. Now formula is v dash, which is the new
Then
acceleration.
is it centrifugal force or force or
Centripetal.
Okay.
Okay, because it is directed towards the center. This is the surface one. R, capital R is the radius of the earth. Omega is the angular velocity with which the earth is rotating. The questions can change. The questions can change here, like if the acceleration due to gravity is calculated at the equator or at the surface. That let me tell you that. Is this clear? The formula is very simple. Just remember the formula. No derivation for this because the derivation is tough and that's not even included in your syllabus. And this is from here only two questions usually I have seen getting asked: the equator and the poles values of the acceleration due to gravity. Otherwise, basic formula-based questions can come. Till now, this is what is there. If in your school, so I don't think so any tough part will come because this is the least important out of all of it. Depth and height are very important. So g dash is equal to g minus r omega square cos square lambda. Now see, at the poles, the value of this latitude, see it increases, and see this will at the poles, it will become 90 degree. This lambda, which is, it is basically the angle, okay, where the centripetal force is acting. So from the equator, it will become 90 degree. Now see, if this is equal to 90 degree, v dash. So we know cos square theta. What is cos square theta here? Lambda will be equal to 90 degree. So we have cos square 90 degree. Cos 90 degree is 0. So this whole term will become 0. So g dash will be equal to g. That is the maximum value possible. Right? Is it clear? And at the
Lambda is
equator,
theta.
what?
Lambda is theta.
Lambda is theta. Lambda is the angle. Okay, see this angle. Lambda is this angle that is made. So that's why when you go from the equator towards the poles, these are the poles, the angle will be completely 90 degree. And at the equator, it will be 0. So value of g dash will be g minus r omega square. This is the value at the equator of clear? Till here? To
Yes.
all of you? Okay. I think one question was still left. I didn't see it. And tomorrow I'll discuss that question first. And that completes with acceleration due to gravity, Newton's law of gravitation, and variation of acceleration due to gravity. Straight away, we'll start from the next segment. That is the gravitational field intensity and all, potential intensity. These are there. First, I'll discuss intensity with you. Then potential, it's an easy topic. Okay, this chapter is not very difficult. Please write this first.